Shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High and His only begotten Son. I'm Brother Josiah here with the Watchman 144. And today's study is called Mystery Babylon, the habitation of unclean birds and devils. Let's get it. The first verse we will be reading is Revelations chapter 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Let's go see why when Mystery Babylon gets destroyed, she's going to become a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Let's get Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19 to 22. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. It says the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there. Keyword, desert animals that's going to inhabit her, right? It didn't speak about the animals you see in Rome, Italy. It didn't speak about the animals that you see in America. It is speaking about desert animals. So let's look up in the Strong Concordance this wild beast of the desert, which is H6728. Let's read the Strong Concordance. It says, from the same as H6723, a desert dweller, that is nomad or wild beast of the desert that dwell in the wilderness. So these animals in Isaiah 13, right? It says in a Strong Concordance, these are desert dwelling animals. So these are animals that dwell inside of a desert region. So if we look up in Isaiah 13, right, and we look up in a Strong Concordance, satyrs, right? Let's look up satyrs, which is H8163. And it says in a Strong Concordance, from H8175, shaggy, as now, a he-goat, by analogy, a fawn, devil, goat, hairy, kid, rough, satyr. In the Strong's Concordance, this word satyr that we see in Isaiah 13, it says it's shaggy goat, or it speaks about devil, right? Now, if we look up satyrs in the Fawcett Bible Dictionary, it says they shall no more offer sacrifices unto devils. An example, the evil spirits of the desert, literally shaggy goats, hence applied to an object of pagan worship or a demon dwelling in the desert. So you know how I know that's the proper translation? Because of what it says in Revelations 18 and 2. When Mystery Babylon gets destroyed, she's going to be a what? A habitation of foul spirits. She is going to become the home of devils. Now, when we take a look at Isaiah 13, it says, their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, right? Let's look up doleful creatures, right? And it says H255, howling animal, jackal, hyena. And it says the wild beasts of the islands. So let's look up this wild beast of the islands. And it says howling beast, jackal, H338, howling beast, jackal. It says in dragons, right? When we click on dragons, which is H8577, it says dragon, serpent, sea monster, dragon or dinosaur, sea or river monster, serpent, venomous snake. Why desert animals? Mystery Babylon herself, she is located in the desert. The animals that's going to inhabit her, all these animals are desert animals. She has to be in the same region as these animals. These animals are not going to fly from one continent to another just to inhabit Mystery Babylon. Obviously, when she gets destroyed, the animals that's in the same location as Mystery Babylon, they are going to inhabit her. So if it's calling the animals desert animals, then that means that Mystery Babylon is located in the desert. Let's get Exodus chapter 23, verse 28 to 30. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before thee. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little will I drive them out from before thee, until thou be increased and inherit the land. So this is during the war with the Canaanites. And the Most High is saying how he's not going to take all the Canaanites out of the land, because if he do at one time, all the animals are going to inhabit those parts of the land. This is why all these animals are going to inhabit Mystery Babylon. When she get wiped out, all these animals that's in the same region, they are going to inhabit her. So in Revelations 18:2, it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit. So why is she going to become an habitation of devils? So let's get our first piece of proof. Let's get Matthew's chapter 12, verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walks through dry places, seeking rest, and finds none. What does the Bible mean by dry places? Let's look up G504, and I'm reading this from the Mounts Dictionary. It says, without water, dry. It says dry places, and therefore in the east, barren desert. So when an unclean spirit is cast out of a man, it goes into the east, which is the barren desert. So basically, Christ tells us evil spirits, when they're cast out of a man, they go into the desert. Right, let's get some more proof on this. Let's read desert in encyclopedia. And it says, the desert was considered the abode of evil spirits, or at least their occasional resort. An opinion held also by the heathen. So the desert was considered the abode of evil spirits, the home of evil spirits, the desert, right? So when a demon is cast out of a person, it goes into the desert. So let's get our next verse. Let's get Matthew's chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Jesus led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. When you look at this word wilderness, the definition in the Strong's, it says an uncertain affinity, lonesome, that is by implication waste, usually as a noun, being implied desert, desolate, solitary wilderness. So Jesus went into the desert, went into the solitary wilderness, right? And there he was tempted by Satan. Satan was found in the desert. Jesus didn't go to the city where all the people was, where the mass population was. Christ went into the desert, right? And there he came across Satan. Now, why is these spirits going to inhabit Mystery Babylon? Because she is found in the desert. And let's get 2 verses to prove that. Let's get Isaiah chapter 21, verse 1 and 9. The burden of the desert of the sea, as whirlwinds in the south pass through, so it comes from the desert, from a terrible land. And behold, here comes a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen. And he answered and said, Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of her gods he has broken unto the ground. So this scripture is about the burden of the desert that's by the sea. And it speaks about this destruction that's coming to this desert. And it says in verse 9, Babylon is falling. Why is Babylon mentioned in this chapter that speaks about a burden coming to this desert region? Obviously, she must be in this desert region, right? And if you look at the other names that are mentioned in this chapter, you got Duma, which is the son of Ishmael. You got Arabia, right? And you got Dedanim, which is the Dedan, which comes from Keturah, right? And we know that Keturah's children and Ishmael came together and they were called Ishmaelites and Arabs. So we're looking at Arabia. The location of this chapter is speaking about Arabia in the desert region. So let's get on to the next verse. Let's get Revelation chapter 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. John was on the island, so the Most High sent an angel and took John to another physical location that's here on earth, and he was brought to the wilderness. If we look up wilderness in the Strong Concordance, right, which is G2048, once again, in the Strongs, desert, desolate, solitary wilderness. So John was taken to the desert. And how do we know he was taken to the desert? We're going to read the same verse in the ERV. Then the angel carried me away by the Spirit to the desert. There I saw a woman sitting on a red beast. So John was taken by the Spirit to an actual location. Not only did he see the woman in the desert, but he saw the beast. John was on an island next to Greece. Why, when God lifted him up, he didn't take him west to see Rome and America? So this is why the animals in Mystery Babylon are going to be desert animals, because she is found in the desert. This is why Mystery Babylon will become the habitation of devils, because devils, when they get cast out of a man, they go into the desert. She is found in the desert. I'm Brother Josiah here with the Watchman 144, and we just finished the study, Mystery Babylon, the habitation of unclean birds and devils. I hope you guys were edified, and I hope to see y'all on the next one. Peace.